An accused murderer causes a scene in a Norman courtroom. No criminal charges for the man who killed 3 home invaders, and the OU campus is hit with an epidemic of bad advice. OU Nightly starts now. The man charged with beheading a former co-worker and more created a scene in a Norman courtroom today and ultimately was removed.
Alton Nolan appeared before a Norman judge who is trying to determine if Nolan is mentally competent to stand trial in this death penalty case. OU Nightly's Macee Beheler was in the courtroom when Nolan caused a disturbance during the hearing.
9:30 this morning, Alton Nolan began to look around the room. He pointed at his mouth and then he stood up. When law enforcement officers told him to sit down, he refused and he was pinned by 3 officers. The judge then called a 15-minute recess and cleared the courtroom.
The judge asked Nolan twice if he wished to remain for the rest of the hearing. He did not answer, so he was taken back to Cleveland County Jail. During the hearing, multiple witnesses from the mental health facility that evaluated Nolan testified about his mental state.
And prosecutors will not file criminal charges against a 23-year-old man who fatally shot 3 home intruders in his parents' home. Wagner County Assistant District Attorney Jack Thorpe and Zach Peters was justified in shooting the 3 men after they broke into the house. Instead, the victim's getaway driver, Elizabeth Rodriguez, is being charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. Despite driving the 3 men to Peters' home, Rodriguez says she does not feel responsible for their deaths.
Wildfires scorched Oklahoma this year. The Oklahoma Forestry Service said 2017 is already one of the most active on record for wildfires. The service responded to more than 800 wildfires in just the first 3 months, burning more than 450,000 acres of woodlands and grasslands.
And the weather has just been all over the place. It was raining and cold this weekend, and today it is 70 degrees, sunny, not a cloud in the sky. Grant, what is going on?
Hey, that's just springtime in Oklahoma for you. You know, we're going to see a chance for rain and showers tomorrow as well. Right now, though, beautiful out. 70s across most of Oklahoma. 74 in Norman right now, 73 up in Oklahoma City, almost 80 out in the western part of the state. And that's a big difference from what we saw yesterday. These are 24-hour temperature changes, almost a 30-degree difference from what they saw there yesterday. Now, wait for this forecast coming up in Maine weather, guys, because another big change is in store for your day on Tuesday and Wednesday. All of more on that later. Back to you guys.
Great. Thank you, Grant.
Talk started last week of a potential filibuster on Supreme Court Justice nominee Neil Gorsuch. What's the status on the Democrats' possible move? Abby?
Democrats have finally found enough votes to filibuster the U.S. Senate confirmation vote on Supreme Court nominee Judge Neil Gorsuch. Gorsuch was approved on a party line vote, but Republicans still remain the majority in the committee. Republicans had hoped to confirm Gorsuch by Friday. The process now appears it will consume the Senate's schedule next week. In Russia, 11 people are dead after a bomb blast today in the St. Petersburg subway. An explosion tore through a train car as it made its way between the 2 stations. The blast injured dozens of people in Russia's second biggest city. Russian President Vladimir Putin says all causes are being investigated, including terrorism. President Donald Trump is ready to solve North Korea with or without China. A former North Korean diplomat, Tae Young-ho, told NBC North Korea has reached a very significant level of nuclear development. North Korea has largely increased its missile and nuclear testing under Kim Jong-un's rule. And the White House was lit up blue last night in honor of World Autism Awareness Day. This is the first time the White House has joined the Lighted Up Blue event since 2010. April is also Autism Awareness Month, so expect the blue lights to continue. And Joe and Anna, Trump visited Egypt's president today at the White House.
Thank you, Abby. Well, OU's participating in the International Lighted Up Blue event. Reagan Ledbetter is live with all the details.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the Beheler Library where tonight this place will be lit up blue to honor the start of Autism Awareness Month. The event is being put on by a student group called Autism Speaks You.
It's really focused on improving awareness and advocacy for not only students here at the university that have autism, but people with autism in the general community. So people who may not know much about autism or know how to interact with someone that they meet that has autism.
Oval, as well as having a benefit night at Hideaway Pizza. Friday they will be handing out balloons in order to pop the stigma about autism. The event is at 7:30 tonight and is open to anyone and everyone here at the university and the community. It may not be the White House, but it will be a pretty cool scene here on campus. Grab your cameras, grab your blue shirts, come out and show your support. Look, I've even got my blue shirt on. Back to you guys.
I'll have to get a blue shirt myself for that.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, down at the Norman Animal Shelter, there's a problem. Too many animals and not enough happy homes for them. Nightly's Nola Allinger has the story.
A city ordinance that took place in 2015 has made the Norman Animal Shelter take all owner surrenders. Division Commander Lance Arnold says that this has led to too many animals and not enough employees.
It's no secret that the state of Oklahoma, as well as a lot of municipalities, are struggling with budgeting and less funds available through sales tax and that kind of stuff. And so we, like a lot of them, are struggling. We really never increase our staffing when we triple the size of the facility.
And the biggest group surrendering their pets? Arnold says it's college students.
Yeah, we get a lot of surrenders, especially when it comes around May, end of the semester. Every year we get college students that came in, they moved to an apartment or a rent house, and they wanted a companion, and so they adopted a dog or a cat from us, and then the end of the semester comes and they realize they're not going to either be able to take the animal back home.
Arnold cautions anyone adopting an animal from the shelter to make sure that they can take on the responsibility, like John Gramlich did for his pup Earl 3 years ago.
We went and looked on the back row, and there were all these dogs that had tags on their kennels about like how long they had been there, and I guess he was there for a really long time. So I took him out into the meeting room, and he sniffed around, and then he came up right next to me and sat down and put his head on my leg, and I was like, all right, we're done. That's that. That's that.
Gramlich says adopting a rescue dog has been like no other experience.
To have a chance to rescue a dog and put the time in and build that relationship and build that trust with the dog, you can't describe it.
If you're looking to add to your family, you can find your own Earl at Norman Animal Services. I'm Nola Allinger, OU Nightly. Come here, Earl. Hi.
How sweet. Well, if you're an animal lover but can't take on the responsibility of adoption, the Norman Animal Shelters takes volunteers all year round.
And still ahead on OU Nightly, is bad advising prolonging graduation for some OU students?
Plus, Oklahoma students learn the value of a language. Welcome back. Well, graduation is quickly approaching, but some OU seniors are battling with OU to find out where they stand with their degree. And Nightly's Aimee Schnebeck found plenty of OU stakeholders who say OU advisors are dishing out bad advice.
Students are frustrated, and it all started with a Facebook post.
After hearing complaints around campus, I decided to dig a little deeper into the advising experience here at OU. This post was flooded with comments and tags of frustrated students with negative advising experiences.
My advisor freshman and sophomore year, who no longer even works here, advised me to take 11 hours of courses that don't count towards anything on my degree.
I do technically have to graduate in the summer now. Luckily you can walk with 9 hours, so I will be walking with the May class.
And I was like, I don't understand. I've been told for now 2 full years that I'm going to get credit.
Well, I had the intention of graduating this spring, like it's senior year, and I have classes I still need to take for my major, and now you're telling me that I practically have a whole other year just of elective classes just to take.
Currently, OU advisors do not undergo any type of standard training. As for now, each advising department is required to have representation at a monthly advisor meeting, but not all advisors are required to attend.
In some units, the training is incredible, and then in some units, that person just comes in and starts, and it isn't as strong, so we're addressing that, absolutely.
Dr. Shea Smith has two main suggestions to avoid any confusion when it comes to advising. She suggests explaining your goals to your advisor so they can help you navigate to the end goal. Lastly, she says communication and clarification are key.
So the first thing what I would do is have that student write back to that, send an email to that advisor and say, this is what I want to clarify that this is what you told me. So that it's all like captured in writing and that it's really clear so that if there is an issue, you could say like, look, like this was clearly told me, like they told me that this was happening and this, or that this was the right course and this isn't the right course.
The advisors weren't unpleasant people and they're not unpleasant employees. Like they do their job. It's just when mistakes are made and I go to someone else and more mistakes are made and I go to someone else and more mistakes, you know, it's a repeating pattern and I think that's the issue.
This is on every campus. Like this is an issue that if you look at the research on advising or you look at the research on student satisfaction, advising is like low.
You can always visit checksheets.ou.edu to follow along your degree on your own to see which courses you need to take to graduate. Aimee Schnebeck, OU Nightly.
And OU has since responded to Aimee's Facebook post, reaching out to students that commented on that post. We will continue to follow the story with any updates that come our way.
With Native American languages on the brink of extinction, tribes are encouraging the next generation to learn their dying tongues. That's what brought elementary school children from tribes across the U.S. to the Sam Noble Museum and the Native Youth Language Fair. The kids gathered to compete in song and earn grades based on appearance and sound, all with one catch: absolutely no English allowed.
But it's really great for encouraging the kids, for having an outlet for what they've learned in the language and encouraging them. It really is a pretty fantastic program.
The annual event hopes to encourage children and their parents to learn their native language and culture.
Well, still ahead on OU Nightly, Russell Westbrook is on the doorstep of history.
And Grant, your smile's pretty bright, but it's a little brighter outside. What's the weather like?
Yeah, well, it's not hard to smile with weather like this, but chance for rain and severe weather enters the forecast tomorrow, even some snow. I'll show you coming up next what to expect. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Grant Tosterud. Well, really sad video out of Jenna, Louisiana here. This is damage from a tornado that went through yesterday. You can see homes damaged, even some buildings damaged. This is one of the confirmed 14 tornadoes yesterday. And now that storm system moves off to the east, having 18 confirmed tornadoes already today. And then yesterday, this storms in Louisiana, leaving 2 dead just outside of Lafayette. So taking a look outside right now, no storms here today. Beautiful look out on campus right now. Just a few clouds passing by. In Norman, sitting in the mid-70s, 74 is what we're at. Winds out of the west around 9 miles per hour, gusting to close to 20 right now. So really a beautiful day out there. But I mentioned before the break that we have a chance for some storms in the forecast, some places even seeing snow. So let's take a look at what's going to happen. Here's that low pressure system off in the Four Corners region right now that will eventually move its way into the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles by tomorrow morning. At 8 a.m., 52 degrees as you head out the door. That warm front will begin to move northward, warming our temperatures for the day on Tuesday. 64 by noon, but expect more clouds to move their way in and even a spotty chance for rain. So if you have any plans outdoors tomorrow, be sure to move them inside. By noon, on the backside of this low pressure system, some spots in Cimarron County and Texas County and the Oklahoma Panhandle could even see some snow tomorrow. So some crazy weather associated with this. As we move this through the day tomorrow, expect rain to become more widespread across most of the state tomorrow, warming up to 66 degrees by 5 p.m., a wet commute on your drive home. Even a line of storms developing in eastern Oklahoma. A few of those could be severe. I'm forecasting the best chance for hail, but this time of year we can't rule out a tornado threat, but it is very low for tomorrow. So how much rain are we expecting out of this storm system as it moves through on Tuesday and Wednesday? Well, not a whole lot. Not like what we saw last weekend. Only 0.13 of an inch here in Norman, 100th of an inch less up in Oklahoma City. The best chance for rain up in northern Oklahoma, southern Kansas. So tonight, though, clear and mild for this time of year. 66 by 8 p.m., 59 by 10 in the mid-50s by midnight. elsewhere across the state. 50s here in central Oklahoma, 41 in Lawton, 48 out in Elk City, and there's that cold air starting to move its way in. 42 in Guyman, but look at that temperature spread across the state. 82 in Idabel tomorrow, and then the cool air moves into here on Wednesday, 62 for a high. But then the sun comes out on Thursday, temperatures will start to warm up, and then a beautiful Saturday in store, almost hitting 80 degrees.
Wow. Oh, I love that warm weather.
That'll be a lot nicer than the rainy Saturday we had this week. So.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Thank you, Grant.
You're welcome. And OU baseball looks great after pulling off a huge walk-off upset yesterday, and Shiloh Sellers is standing by with more.
That's right, Joseph. The OU baseball team is on fire. Plus, Russell Westbrook continues to post unbelievable numbers. Sports is around the corner. Welcome back. Sooner baseball has no plans of slowing down. Yesterday's rubber match ended in victory for the Sooners, who took down Texas Tech for another series win. The Sooners started strong with 3 runs in the top of the first, but the Raiders rallied, scoring 3 in the fourth to tie the game. The Sooner bullpen held off the Raiders for the remainder of the game, but it was sophomore second baseman Kyle Mendenhall who hit a bomb over the left center wall to clinch the win 5-4. J.B. Olson got the save for the Sooners.
You know, these guys, they fight and battle, and, you know, we don't scoreboard watch. We go out there and value our IBs and value our pitches and try and execute. And when that last out is made, you know, then we'll look up there and see what the score is.
And the Sooners' Rene Martinez was voted Big 12 Player of the Week. He'll also be dropping by Sooner Sports Pad tonight. He's a busy young man, right, Courtney?
Yes, indeed, Shiloh. Mr. Martinez and a teammate will be stopping by Studio D to pay us a visit tonight. He'll be joined by grad transfer middle reliever Vinny Aiello. They'll talk about this baseball hot streak, and over spring break, we caught up with former Sooners All-American Buddy Hield. Hear how he thinks he's doing as an NBA rookie. And of course, we have viral videos you don't want to miss. That's tonight live at 7:30 on Fox College Sports Central. Or catch us right here on OU TV tomorrow at 5 o'clock right after this newscast. Back to you, Shiloh.
Thanks, Courtney. And this weekend, Sooners softball swept the series against Iowa State Cyclones. The Sooners outscored the Cyclones 40-5 in the 3-game series. Their win Saturday marks their 30th straight home win, which ties them for the second longest streak in program history. The Sooners start conference play with a record of 3-0. And what else would you expect from OU women's gymnastics team than another first-place finish? How about a regional crown? The Sooners took first yet again at the NCAA Seattle Regional this Saturday, scoring a 198.075, not only earned them a spot in the NCAA championship for the 14th consecutive season, but the score also ranked as the highest in the nation for a regional competition. The Sooners travels to St. Louis, Missouri on April 14th for the championship. The Charlotte Hornets beat the OKC Thunder 113-101 yesterday despite Westbrook's impressive play. Westbrook posted 40 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists for his 40th triple-double of the season, one behind the NBA record of 41 set by Oscar Robertson. He needs 11 rebounds and 29 assists over the Thunder's last 6 games to secure a season triple-dub. And the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship is tonight. In the first Final Four game on Saturday, Gonzaga punched its ticket in a close win over South Carolina. And in the second game, the Tar Heels of North Carolina secured the game-winning rebound to put away the Oregon Ducks to advance to the championship as they did last year. But I bet those Tar Heel fans are hoping this year's championship ends a little differently than last year when Villanova's Chris Jenkins hit a miracle 3 for the win. Finally, it's baseball season. Yesterday, the Rays' Evan Longoria launched a 2-run homer in the bottom of the second in their 7-3 win over the Yankees. And the Cardinals led the Cubs 3-0 before the former champs tied it up in the 9th. But Randall Guruk singled to center, scoring Jose Martinez for the walk-off win. But they weren't the only ones with a last-minute victory. The Arizona Diamondbacks rallied in the 9th against the San Fran Giants. Chris Owings singled on a live drive to right for a 6-5 walk-off win. And love is in the air. WWE superstar John Cena took a knee to propose to fellow wrestler Nikki Bella during WrestleMania last night. She, of course, said yes. How sweet is that, guys?
The video, they're barely wearing anything. I don't know.
In front of
like it.
millions of people to get proposed
Grand
to.
gestures are great, I guess. Thank you, Shiloh.
Well, still to come on OU Nightly, we'll take a last look at weather.
I'm Olivia Whitehead at the Update Desk. The Beleaguered-Talina Veterans Center is no longer accepting patients with behavioral issues. 2 patients recently died, one from sepsis while another choked to death. State officials say without major changes, the facility could be closed. That's tonight's update. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you. Grant, can we take one last glance at weather?
Yeah, it's a chance for severe storms east of us tomorrow, then clouds clear for Thursday as temperatures warm up to the 80s by next weekend.
Great. Well, thank you so much. That's our time. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 4:30.